Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to a fat guy squeaking in a chair. Alright. Last I left off on this thing was at least a month ago. A month ago. I can roll through these things when I can roll through them. When something happens that clogs the system, I can't just pause the whole line for one machine. So I wrote the owner and I said, hey, your machine's effed up and I gotta put it to the side. So I forget where I left off. Okay, so I pinned out Denise. I pinned out the majority of Agnes, and yeah, we had the ROM tower with the 321 ROMs, and I was kindly donated the original ROM tower. I have diagram in here right now on an original tower, so I could just see if, you know, if anything happens with this, which it doesn't. It's 100% dead as a doornail. Dr. Chris has even turned his back on me. So that's where I left off. This came in recapped. Nichicons and some different ones. The original owner, I was told, recapped this and could not get it started. So they recapped it, trying to bring it back to life, and it was still dead. So and then Mr. Brad, got a hold of it. Owner informed him that he changed the cap and removed the battery damage. He cleaned the board, checked traces to make sure everything was okay. Of course, there are still issues. So that's where we left off. We don't know what's going on with this. In a previous lifetime, I actually changed all the pals out, hoping that would get it. We socketed the crystal and replaced the crystal. That didn't do nothing. We went over the jumpers again. I put in a 68030 and an 040. That didn't do nothing. I was thinking, well, maybe the CPU's bad because it is doing the black screen thing. So I've been at a loss on this for a while. Got a new cap, proper cap, Sprog in the thing. These are, I don't know. There was some wires on this thing and it's a Rev 6. And while I love the 3000, I just get burned the heck out on working on them. But a very sensitive, sword and branded repop for a Buddha and the 3000, which I had to mark a L and an R for left and right, so I didn't bend the wire because she's so sensitive she snaps the wire off if you look at her wrong. Low and no. Still has signal, it's holding, but we're stuck in low. Nothing's happening. Carefully pull the ROM tower that I paid for out. Turn it back on. It does the exact same thing. No ROMs. Not a ROM in sight. Nothing. Doesn't do crap. That's why I was going with the original ROM tower and diagram. Original tower's in with diagram. Alright, if diagram shows, it'll show over here. But it won't. Because it doesn't do nothing. I was chasing a halt or a reset signal. I'm going to have to go watch my own footage just to figure out where I left off. I did jumpers. CPU jumpers, they're in separate internal, which is this. This is cold as a daggone nothing. This is doing nothing. I'm stuck being unstuck. CPU is slightly getting warm. It's like I'm starting all over because I got a fleet behind me neck high. I don't know. I can't fix everything, guys. And I can, but I can't devote a year to it because I'm already devoting multiple years to a couple other boards as I can. Fixing everybody else's third time repair. Like, what happened with this board 16 people ago? Yeah, but pulling it out does the same thing as nothing. Did get the clock circuit rebuilt. And I have went over this so many times. Battery damage was here, but it didn't even work then. So, did it work before battery damage? We don't know. Why is there no ROM tower? How'd the owner get it working if it wasn't working before? I don't know, man. This thing's just freaking toast. Let me stare at this board for several more hours and watch demos and hopefully get my flame back. I'm burnt out of this board. 2 months and no go. It's like a curse on me. I didn't want to do it to begin with because I knew what I was involved with because of the ROM tower. I don't mind helping out, but now here it is, and it's a third or fourth person repair again. It's another Death 1200 all over. Amiga 3000 from Hell Day 62. I bought myself a whole bunch of these Intel DC27, whatever they are, Intel, what is it? D27 C220 256K jobbers. And it doesn't require the adapter for your TL866. So, thank you, Charlie, for helping a brother out with the missing things. I use ROM to bin on Linux. Hey, I'm back. It's another day. I got the Spectra line PE14T out. That is my nuclear fuel rod EEPROM eraser. I have 6 ROMs in here right now that I'm going to erase thermonuclear style. This Spectra line gives no F's about your safety. In its own way it does. It does have a drawer, but this UV light is so freaking powerful. It draws 12 amps of current. Yeah. And it makes my eyeballs hurt. I was sitting here working on my computer one time while I had this on, and holy God, big headache, eyeball pain, UV, bad. So this thing throws off so much UV radiation. It has a warning. It's made by Spectronics Corporation, Westbury, New York. She's old. Got some replacement light bulbs for her that are even more powerful. I'm going to turn this overhead off for just a second. When I turn this knob and press this white button, this little thing is going to glow blue like a nuclear fuel rod. And then I am out of here for that very reason. So we'll check back in a bit. She will erase EEPROMs in 3 minutes. Like, that's how powerful it is. You can crank it to, what, 30 minutes, top speed, 30 minutes. But we're not doing that. We're just going to go like there, 3 minutes. Listen to that. It's like, okay, seen a little bit. I know these are good to erase now because I forgot about them because I left the room and I got involved in Starfield. So here we are. Alright, let's fire this beast up. I don't need the adapter to check these. We'll see. Will this fix that stubborn-ass 3000? And it does its thing in like a minute. Sorry if the screen is borking out, so it writes the ROM. Can you even see that? I guess you can. And we'll verify 30. Okay, I did it correctly. And close this turd down. What the hell happens? Let's make sure I'm on VGA. I am. Turn this light off. Turn the power on. Dumbass. Energize. Low. And nothing.
You stewed, buttwad.
So no ROMs in. Watch this. Here we go. Energize. Alright. Light comes on. The zoom comes on. I'll zoom past it. There's the square screen. We're stuck in low. Yeah. Stuck in low. I'm not going to let it sit here till the cows come home. I've done CPU, I've done clocks, I've done everything. I cannot get this light to go high. I've tried external CPUs. I've tried VSync. I've tried everything to get this machine to work, and it just does not work. Crystals, clocks, sockets, ROM lines, RAM lines, Agnes sockets, Denise, Paula, replacement Paula. Nothing but this screen. That's it. It sits here forever. So I'll turn it off. Yes, you will see the SCSI light blip. It does it with or without ROMs. It's not initializing, it's just power. See? It would normally low, high, and the SCSI would kick on. So this girl is just probably toast. Or it's got a bad some other chip that I just don't have. Continuity wise, it's there. I just don't have the money to just start buying D-Max at $175 and Agnes's at $350 and Fat Gary's at $100, and you just don't. They're not around. That's what, you know. Plus, I've already got. Oh shit, it's dark. Sorry. I've already got like over 60 hours in repair in this girl, and it's just getting too long in the tooth. I can't fix everything, and God knows what the hell this girl's been through. Every time I think about, like, what is it? Did I miss something? No, we got new socketed crystals, and we oscilloscoped it, and I just can't. I've checked PALs and everything. I just can't figure it out. I don't know, and I keep saying, well, one more thing. I was going to FLIR it, and then the FLIR broke. This board should work, regardless of the clock weirdness over here. I've recapped the area and rebuilt the parts correctly. I just don't get it. And amber's dead. The whole amber circuit doesn't work either. That's probably been exposed to God knows what. Some chip somewhere, some way, somehow. I don't know. My brain is just gone on this machine. 60 hours of my life. And I feel bad and I want to keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta get it working. I got only just one more hour. It's like a drug, and then the next thing you know, Oh yeah, I also put new decoupling capacitors across the power rail. I've already verified the jumpers are correct on the CPU, of course. I've ran external CPUs in this. My 040, I don't want to blow it up, but I ran my 040. We ran the 3630, as we call it, the A2300, 3400. I don't know why I keep turning this off and on. It doesn't do anything. So, running the original kickstarts, which should work without a ROM tower, running the owner's ROM tower. This might be a good candidate for Mr. Hertel's Amiga. It's got all our chips and parts. Whatever the hell's bad in here, it will be replaced with modern circuitry and eliminate most of this logic. You know, I'd ask for my money back on this board. Take my work, take my pain. Just ask for your money back on this board. This was a ripoff to you and not worth it. And I apologize that I can't get it going. I just don't know what's wrong with it. I've done everything to it. I just don't have chips to throw at it. I love the notes. Cleaned all the battery damage to make sure the traces were fixed. Sure. That's why untested means that shit is broke. Crazy man, day 62, hour 61. Amiga 3000, Rev 6, ROM tower, ROMs, jumpered the 180, 181 thing, back and forth, flipped them. So I spent too much money on a FLIR. It's a whatever brand that is. First one didn't work. So I had to do a return, and I shipped another one, and I charged this one for 4 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome. This is running, by the way, and has been running. I want to see. That is the worst resolution ever. Hey, look how this looks. It's kind of neat. It's like a little mini map of the circuit board. It tells you your heat. So that's the one I wanted to see. So I can see exactly what chips I'm dealing with here. Except the aiming cursor is black. 94. That's a PAL. 102. Agnes, barely nothing. Denise, 90s. Nothing sticking out. See, the idea is I shoot over this thing and look for extreme temperature differences. Like something that's just blaring out, hello, I'm hell hot. Minus that one chip in the back, 90 degrees. Resistor packs, CIA's at 86. And that's not, nothing is screaming out death. I love how it draws the circuits. Power line's got some heat going through. As does a resistor pack right here on this side. Yeah, it's not really, nothing is screaming death. Those three yellows are the resistor packs right here. Yeah, great. So that's a tremendous waste of money. I'm sure it'll come in handy for some 1200s one day. So for now, that goes over here on the side. Hopefully it'll turn on once again. I got one usage out of the last one also. I figured I'd just try another last thing before I call this one done. I even replaced the power supply with another guaranteed 5 volt positive and negative, 12 volt positive and negative tick line, 60 hertz on my case, so I don't be in V-sync here. We are still stuck in low, regardless of using the 27, whatever the hell they are, ROMs, or the ROM tower. It's just something with the ROMs. I'm sure the Amiga would work. I don't know why it's not listening to me. Everything's been repaired. The damage was only to the clock circuit. It's something to do with the ROMs, ROM lines. Something somewhere is borked beyond repair, and I cannot figure it out. Oscilloscoping and all that stuff, it should be alive. And I just don't have 3,000 chips, D-Max and Ramses and Super Busters lying around to give away at every broken machine in the world. So ROM tower or not, it doesn't matter what is on them, it just doesn't work. But yeah, she's dead, nothing, and I have reached my maximum tolerance and ability on this board. If you would like to attempt to be the 4th repair person to fix it, reach out and I will contact the owner and set you guys up together. But I've done many 3000s, Rev 6s through Rev 9s. And between scoping them out and replacing parts and sockets and lines and wires and things, even with the donation of the ROM tower, the factory one for bench work, still dead, and that's the official Commodore one. Now I'm sure this one works fine. Something's different with this board than the other Rev 6s. It says Rev 6.1. This is just not happening. It's not happy. Something's weird. I even double checked all the jumpers with pictures from another Rev 6.1. I compared it to my Rev 9. I compared it to another one that's in for repair, the Amiga. Checked that one. That's a Rev 9. I tried alternate jumper or alternate riser cards, the donated one I got for bench work. This is the one I put the new capacitor on from the thing of 1647 SMD caps to form a 16470. And I can't devote any more time for it because I got 15 of them piled up higher than my head behind me. And that's it. So that's all I got for Project 3000 Rev 6 from Hell. 2 or 3 parts videos. I don't know how many I'm going to edit it to. Part 1 is out. Maybe by the time you watch this, Part 2 is out. There's a 3. I don't know. There's probably going to be 3. And this was my final straw, is purchasing these Intel 27C220 ROMs, or D27C220, and erasing and burning the various images of them. So I'm going to return this to the owner with his ROMs in it, along with the board itself. There's no reason this shouldn't have worked, but I tried these as a final ultimatum in case there was some weirdness with this board and everything else in life. I did fix the quad stacked tantalum 1647s and put the correct 16470 cap on there. Yeah, and we're good to go. So, unfortunately, that wraps it up for this thing. It's just too many hours and I'm clogging the pipe. Where I had 10, now I have 15. And another one is showing up tomorrow. I am busy as a beaver. I wish I could do this full time, but I am not that popular of a YouTube channel enough, and I don't make enough money to pay bills on YouTube. It's a joke what they pay. You gotta have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and you gotta crank in 50, 60,000 per video watches to think about making a living. And I don't roll like that. There's not enough for Amiga. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call this one, and for everyone's sake, I'm just gonna stop where I'm at. So I apologize for not being able to save an Amiga, but you can't fix them all. So I'll return this back to the owner, write him a note on my Amiga 1000, print it out, toss a magnet in there, and hope for the best. Unfortunately, we can't win them all, but we try. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?